Welcome
Nay.
to Draw With Me Kids Edition.
Nay.
Hi reindeers.
Nay.
There's two Rudolphs there. Oh my goodness.
Hi, everybody.
There you are. Today we're going to draw ornaments and candles, which should be pretty easy for a lot of you. We're going to use some rectangles, some circles, and then Miss Rainbow's here is going to show you some different shapes that you can use.
I have some trivia, and
Yep.
my mom has some that I haven't heard, so I can guess.
Oh, you're going to participate. All right then. Well, everybody get your pencils, your paper, your erasers, and let's go. Last week we drew doors, keys, and locks. Well, more doors and keys because we didn't really do locks. Miss Rainbows took us through some rainbow or some keys, different shapes. She traced one. She used a star. She used different shapes here in her door with her mimic. And I later, because I didn't actually do a picture live, because I just didn't. I did a bunch of different examples. I drew this guy because I was thinking, how do I show best show perspective? So here is our little elf or someone's little elf coming to the door. Be ready for tomorrow. Or today. Or yesterday. Oh my gosh. Help! So I'm going to look at all my stuff. I've got a lot of stuff. Whoop. Create a new page. Somebody's been playing with my stuff. It's not quite where I expect it to be. That's okay. Probably me, because
I don't use it.
I'm here all day working on my artwork. So let's switch over to Miss Rainbow's stuff. She's got a coloring page, the latest coloring page for my Patreon, and she can color that if we're patreon.com, SamIanArt.
HTTPS
She's gonna give you
//www.patreon.com/SamIan
Thank you. It's also my Facebook page. But it's the one that you can download, and Sophia's got it. Miss Rainbows has it to color today if she gets finished ahead of time. So, without further ado, let's not block Miss Rainbows.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking. I'm just getting something set up. Go ahead. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today, Sophie.
We're going to draw candles and ornaments.
I'm going to hold that there because I have my trivia in one place. There we go. Don't look at the trivia.
What?
So, candles and ornaments. And part of why we're doing candles and ornaments is because traditionally we use candles and ornaments and Christmas trees for Christmas celebrations, but also any of our friends who are celebrating Hanukkah will be familiar with candles, putting them on menorah. And also anybody who celebrates Kwanzaa, there's 7 candles involved in that. I may have given away some of my trivia. So they're really easy to do. Candles are super easy to do. You can have a really easy shape, a straight line. Start with a rectangle. If you want one that's a little bit more tapered, you can make that more like a trapezoid. This is where you can sort of change up your shapes. This is really easy. This is going to be really easy. What I do for my candles is I like to have an exaggerated side to them where maybe they've had a little bit of a draft and they've blown to a side. So I draw a little triangle. You can put it on either side. You can erase that line where they connect. And draw my little wick. And a teardrop for the flame. is super easy, isn't it? I like your added glow. And if you want, you can add a little bit of dripping wax. So you can use sort of that teardrop on the side. You can have a little bit of dripping wax. You can have it running down long, stream, or you can just have it shorter. And then I do, because I like having my candles sitting in something, I draw an oval around the bottom, and that's its cup, and you can then have, or you can have a box where it's sitting in. Wow, you're just all festive there, Miss Rainbows. And if you look at her screen, if you look at Miss Rainbow's screen, she got these new little reindeer, Rudolph antler things. So she loves these things. She just got them yesterday. So this has got her in a really festive mood. So, if you want to do what Miss Rainbows has done here, because, hey, we all like something fun and stylized, you could make that flame just a little bit bigger if you want. By duplicating that teardrop on top, you can then see the two different rainbow layers. And Miss Rainbow's added a circle around, which is sort of representing the glow. I think she also put it more like this.
No, I made it a circle.
Oh, you made it a circle?
Yeah. And then I put lines like the glow.
Then she did some lines like the glow. So that's another way you can do it if you want to sort of have that symbol of glow.
I'm going to also teach you guys how to make shape candles. Like if you don't end up wanting a candle that's just like this one, it's easy. Pick any shape that you want your candle base to be, where the wax is. And I'm going to choose a heart.
You choose heart?
First of all, just make a line like that. That's going to be the base. We're just going to hold it. It's going to hold.
Okay.
You're going to draw a tiny line on each side. We're not going to close off the top. Then that's where you're going to draw the top bit of whatever shape you want.
Okay. And when you do a shape candle like Miss Rainbows has here, if you do a shape candle, one of the things that you're going to remember, this is what it would look like if it is just starting out. But eventually it's going to melt, and it's going to melt in a radiant circle. So you want to draw a circle. And that would be sort of how it would melt. And it might look a little weird at first because it would melt with the shape of the heart. And you'd sort of see the wick in it like that. And then maybe it would melt a little bit more. And it would be more just like that. So that's sort of how a candle would work. Or if you had any draft. So I talked about having that cool little peak on it. If you had any draft where this got blown like that way, and the flame occasionally took its radius over this way, it might end up something weird like this as a melty. And I always find it.
I have another thing I want to teach you about these or other candles. You can add writing on it by just simply writing on it. Like I'm gonna write my name.
Miss Rainbows is going to write her name. And while she's doing that,
And you can do shapes.
I've got some candle trivia.
If you want, by the way, if you want like perspective that it's dug or deeper, draw another line either around it or in the middle of it.
Ah, you
And then it makes it look like it's been dug in and carved in.
So, speaking of candles, candles are central in at least two celebrations. Actually, they're central in a lot of celebrations, but two celebrations where there are multiple candles lit every single night. And I mentioned Hanukkah, which I can't get the proper Hanukkah part of it. Hanukkah has it. How many candles on the menorah? How many candles do people light for the menorah? Is it 6, 7, or 8? what is going to be your trivia for the first part?
Well, I know that
And while we're
for
doing...
Chanukah, it's 7. Because you said that.
No. I said something else was 7. Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Hmm.
Oh. Well,
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa's 7.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness. Don't know my celebrations.
That's okay. That's why we try to bring them up so other people can, if you know Christmas really well, then you can experience other awesome winter festivals. Hanukkah is also known as the Festival of Lights because of, or Festival of Light, I should say. And if I've done my research correctly, the reason that there is a candle lit every night for our trivia answer night row is to represent a celebration of victory in the Jewish temple, and a miracle happened where the lamp they had enough oil for one day or one night, but all the rest of the oil had not been properly purified, and they needed time in order for it to be purified to keep the lamp lit, except the lamp stayed lit for days.
Oh, I've heard the story. I know the answer.
So is it 6, 7, or 8? I'm getting ready for the next part of our art jam here, which
Here's
is
a
the
hint.
ornament.
It's not the same amount of candles as Kwanzaa.
It's a very good hint. So it's 6 or 8. Which one do you pick?
I know exactly which one it is because I've heard that
Well, might as
story.
well tell us then. Tell it.
Is it 8?
It is 8. It is for 8 days. And Kwanzaa has 7 candles, which represent the values of 7 core values for the family. So Kwanzaa is a celebration that happens after Christmas, and a candle's lit every night for 7 days, which is kind of cool. So candles and whatnot are celebrated. In Christianity, a candle is lit every weekend on the Sunday for Advent, leading up to Christmas. So candles are sort of very popular in a lot of really cool cultures. Now, Christmas trees used to have candles, or may still have candles. I'm not going to answer that because that may interrupt the question Miss Rainbows has. Who introduced the idea of putting lights or candles on the Christmas tree? And while we're thinking about that, get your circle drawn. You can put a tiny, this is just ornament, put a tiny rectangle on top. I like to round it a little bit to go with the ornament. I'll put a tiny little hook or a string. You can make a loop if you want. Looks a little bit like a cherry bomb. Not that I know what those are like. When you've got this, it's going to be like your apples. If you're going to do a design, any design or any pattern, whether you're going to draw mountains, or if you're going to draw Santa's face, or if you're going to draw a checker pattern, you got to think about the fact that you've got a round surface, or as Miss Rainbows will show you later with some shapes, whatever shape you're going to use for your ornament.
If you guys are wondering why I put the key on the word ornaments, that's because it may give away one of my own trivia questions if I showed you how it's spelled.
So what you want to do is follow the curve. So everything will be a little bit curved to get those straight lines. So there's a stripe. Maybe I have a little pattern there. But we'll sort of follow the curve of the ball to give it that idea that it's wrapped. So if you have dots, you might get away with just circles. You want to have some that overlap the line so it looks like it's wrapping around. Really easy stuff. Now, the answer to who introduced lights would be the United Kingdom. Queen Victoria, apparently, and Prince Albert added candles to their Christmas tree. And that became all the rage. Everybody wanted to have lights.
I'm going to get my 2 trivia questions out of the way so I can take the key off of my
Go
paper.
for it.
My first one is, how is ornament spelled? A O R D A M E N T. B is O R N A M E N T. How is it spelled? A or B?
Don't let the way Miss Rainbows pronounces it
No, that's gonna give it away.
influence you too much.
You're just giving way too big of a hint, you know.
I just gave too big of a hint. What are you
Yeah,
talking
this
about?
is a simple question.
Listen to us. Love you, sweetie. And if anybody's ever curious about the fact that, are you guys really like this? Yeah, we really are. Eh?
Mm.
We like to be silly with each other, right? Well, if you are eagle-eyed and paying attention, our title of our live broadcast has the spelling in it. So there is no D. Right?
The answer is B.
Yeah.
And my last question of my trivia
Last question of your trivia.
is, do families still, to this day, put candles on their Christmas tree?
Do families to this day put candles on their Christmas tree? That's a really good question. Yes or no?
A, yes. B, no.
I've decided I'm going to draw a little picture of a little elf character. Trying to carry a Christmas ornament. It'd be pretty heavy for him, but he's doing it. So I would say yes. You know why I would say yes? Because we have some on our tree, but they're not like candles that are lit.
The answer is yes.
Yep.
And some families do now actually put lit candles on their Christmas trees. We don't put lit candles on our Christmas tree, but some other families would.
I'm going to start playing with the...
Now, guys, I'm going to show you how to make shaped ornaments.
Okay, you show us how to make shaped ornaments. And I'm going to ask my final trivia question. Because we're doing ornaments. Ornaments were added to trees in Germany in the 16th century. What were they made of originally? Were they made out of fruit, glass, or wood?
I think a wooden ornament would be way too heavy on a Christmas tree. Fruit might be heavy unless they like hollowed it out.
Why are you putting my fan on? Oh, I don't want to make him look super happy. I kind of want to make him look like, oh man, this is heavy. Let's put a little frown on him.
I don't know if they were actually, they knew how to make glass ornaments back then. But then again, they could. You know what? Just gonna go with my gut feeling and say fruits.
It's a pretty good gut feeling. It is actually fruit.
Oh my goodness, that was just a guess.
It was a representation of for Christian families, was a representation of the tree of knowledge in Eden. Tree of paradise. And you would put fruits, cookies, different foods and temptations, you put them up there on the tree. And you get to eat them, of course, at the end of the observation of Christmas. But it was also at that time that a glass blower named, I'm not going to remember his name. I don't remember his name. But a glass blower rumored to have decided that it was too expensive to put fresh fruit on a tree, because it would have been pretty expensive. You don't have farms like we do everywhere that you can get access. You'd have to go to market. It would be a pretty expensive venture. And he felt it was too expensive, so he used his talents and his trade to make glass fruit. And that's why we have glass ornaments on the tree. Became very popular.
Mm.
Yeah, pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah. Here's how you make shaped ornaments, by the way. For this one, I'm going to pick like an upside down teardrop shape. You're going to draw your shape where you want your ornament. You're going to put the little thing at the top. Your little like hook or string, however it's going to hang. And then you make whatever pattern you want on it. So that's really simple too.
She don't like her legs. Could change that. So what do you want to remember about doing your ornament? It's okay if some of my younger artists that follow and are doing this want to do straight lines or not follow the curve of your thing, because that works too. Sometimes trying to follow the curve or do the three-dimensional stuff can be a little bit tricky. You guys don't have to draw an elf with your ornament. This is what I've decided to do as my my picture. I decided that my picture is going to have a silly little elf holding up an ornament instead of putting it up on the tree. Silly little elf. What are you doing, Miss Rainbows? You're doing different. Oh, look at that beautiful shape. I like that shape.
Done early, I'm going to start coloring the coloring sheet.
You're going to color the coloring sheet? Okay, what are you going to use for the coloring sheet?
The chameleon pens.
Chameleon pens. She loves those chameleon pens. Okay, got this all huge feet. I don't know. That's okay. Maybe this is part of why things are a little bit awkward for this elf. Maybe this elf has a dress. Sometimes I find drawing the whole character, even when I'm trying to put costume on, helps so I know where things will fall and how things are being pushed around by the body or the form underneath. I kind of like doing these ornaments or these designs for ornaments, because then you can just go crazy with whatever story you want to tell, and you can use them for drawing any round shape or apple shape or squeaky chair. I still haven't fixed it. Or whatever you want. One of the things I like to do too, because it's something that I love about Christmas decorations, is the fur or the fake fur or the fuzz. I really enjoy drawing it. So I just use little tiny broken lines so it just sort of gives that edge of like you're seeing the edge of the hairs.
I feel like we're going back to the figures episode.
Figures episode? Oh, because I have...
No, because you're explaining how to make an elf.
I'm not really explaining the elf, but I'm just sort of explaining the fur part that I like. I am drawing an elf. I can't deny that. She's got these skinny little arms and long legs. Her hand might not make it all the way around that way now that I think about it. That's okay. One year I did a Christmas card that had two mischievous little elves on it. And they were having fun with a Christmas ornament. They were making funny faces, like, ah, one was making a funny face, and the other one was laughing and laughing. I don't know if I still have that. Probably do somewhere.
I've seen it recently.
Probably do somewhere. But yes, so and what I did was the face reflected in the ball was sort of that. If you've ever looked into a glass ornament or a doorknob or something, that fisheye lens where everything's sort of distorted, your nose gets really big, maybe your lips get really stretched.
The elf is like going,
ah, yeah, she's making a really rude face.
into the Christmas ornament.
But then it's getting distorted, which makes it even funnier. The important things to note when you're doing drips on your candle is that the drips will always go down with gravity. So if you have had a candle that is burning and seems to be burning to one side, the drips will always seem to appear on the path of least resistance. It'll be on the lower part. So if you have a different shaped candle, or if you have a traditional shaped candle, we'll always find the easiest way to go down. Just like if you're trying to do anything with liquid or something that's just a little bit more viscous than water, for example, but water you could still, if you're catching it, would always go with the gravity, which is why I like seeing the fire in space and zero gravity, because it just sort of goes out everywhere. It's really cool. I'm a science geek. I love it. I think this is going to be a little candle holder. Little candle holder. Because I don't want to go right over top of her legs. There we go. Maybe I'll sort of add that weird effect of the shape of this candle reflecting in this particular ball. I seem to be having spacing issues today. This would be something I would be of course hoping everybody's learning as they go to space out their pictures so they have enough room for everything. I'm clearly not having enough room for everything. And so everybody knows I'm doing a little virtual advent calendar on Sami Art, and I've already released a video on how I did speed paint of Susseltoe, which won for the sticker of the month last month, by the way. I think somebody here is really happy about that. Eh?
Yeah.
Are you a big Among Us fan?
Very.
Ooh, I like your colors. Nice choice.
Thank you.
I'll pick some red. I'll put some color on this one while we're working. And I was hoping to sort of give you guys a peek at some of the stuff that I do to relax, because I've had some people say, well, what do you like to do? What's your hobby if you draw full time, if that's what you do for a living? So I was hoping to have a few surprises. We'll see if I can show those to you by the end of the day, though. What are some things that I like to do, Miss Rainbows?
You like to play Clue online.
I do like to play Clue. I love Clue.
You like to play Undermine.
I like to play video games, I guess is one summary of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's true. I
You
like Undermine.
draw. And you like to draw. And you like to draw. And you like to draw.
When I'm not drawing, what do I do?
You like to draw. When you're not drawing, you draw.
It's true, I draw a lot, don't I? I draw a lot.
You'll even draw when you're playing a video game. You celebrate Christmas.
Well, I'm celebrating Christmas right now.
You eat and sleep and do all of you really are mostly art. That's mostly what you like to do.
I am mostly art.
She mostly likes to do art, then a little bit of video games, like a bitty bit of video games, like ton of art.
There you have it, folks. I like to art.
She's drawing even when she's not drawing.
What are you talking about? Give me an example of me drawing when I'm not drawing.
Like you're playing Undermine, and then you grab the tablet and start drawing on Procreate.
Not if I'm playing Undermine.
Yeah, you've done that. You've done that before. Guys, this is what I have to live with. But it's crazy, Mom.
This is what I have to live with. Oh my gosh.
Crazy, Mom.
Well, that brings us to 4:30, and I know we started a little earlier. I am a crazy mom. Hopefully in a good way.
I'd like to announce that I love my crazy mom.
Oh. So kind. I love my crazy daughter. I mean, the crazy mom. I think it kind of goes to... Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Draw With Me Kids. Hope you guys learned lots by drawing some candles in different shapes and ornaments in different shapes.
We'll be back next week with Elves and Santa And then we'll take the Christmas break.
Yes, so we'll see you next week, same time.
Ding 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 ding. Bye. The reindeer say bye. Yeah.